Hi everyone. Yesterday I tried over 4 times to make a video and I just got really upset. So the information that I wanted to put out there, I'm going to talk just a tad bit on it and then I'm going to move on to another subject. If you don't understand about what's going to happen with these banks, you need to reach out to me and let me help you understand how bad it's going to be. I look rough. I want to take a nap so bad. Oh, I want to take a nap so bad. You have a checking account and a savings account possibly. You know that if you can't get to your money, you can't do anything because most bills are paid online. Majority of people aren't even where you live to make your payments. So sometimes you have to either pay it over the phone or you've got it where it automatically comes out of your account or you get online and you make the payment. All of your utilities, your person that's the manager, your bank, all of that have accounts themselves. So if your bank shuts down, do you realize that their bank could shut down too? So I don't think most people understand what it means when they say banks shut down. So you need to really think about this. Be prepared. Don't be scared. Just be ready. We don't know when this is going to happen. We know they are setting it up. We know that Africa, Russia, India, Brazil, they're all going to make their announcement somewhere around the August 22nd about the gold standard. Now, what that does for us, it could be a couple of things. It could be something where we celebrate, or it could be that's what collapses our banks because our money would be worth nothing. So we don't know how it's going to go. Then again, they may say something totally different. I don't know. Because you know how they like to change up the timelines. They like to change up what they're going to do or exactly how they're going to do it. This is why nobody knows for sure. And if you're following somebody and they're telling you they know for sure how something's going down, they're lying to you. They're lying to you. There's nobody that knows exactly how it's going to go except a very few people. And it has to be that way. Otherwise, the bad guys would find out. And they'd mess the plan up and it would really mess things up. So nobody can know exactly when. Nobody can really know how they're going to do it. And I will be honest, this is not happening the way that I imagined it would happen. Now, some of it is because I had listened to other people in the beginning and I thought, well, okay, that makes sense. That kind of follows with what I saw in my visions. And it's not happening that way. Not happening that way. What I do know is going to happen is this is going to collapse. I've seen it in my visions. This is going to collapse. I've seen people with the suicides, which I've been one of the very few psychics that was talking about suicides, and we're starting to see the suicides now. You're going to see more suicides. The suicides are going to get really out of control here. But I've talked about that, so this is nothing new. And if you followed me or if you've listened to me, you know I've talked about this before. We know that it has to happen this way in order to be a rebirth. So we have to practically die to be reborn, as terrible as that sounds. Most people don't reach out to God till they think they're dying or right on the deathbed, and then they reach out to God. So it has to be this way because of that. Just about everything we do, not everything, I said just about, is tied into something demonic or evil or just not right. You want some examples? Okay, let's just go there. Some people singing songs, dressed up like a witch, doing some type of ritual, and you singing along with them. You don't know what you're saying, especially if it's words that sound crazy, and you just repeat it. Well, how do you know you're not repeating a spell? Don't think that they don't do that. They do. They have been putting spells on music, on the albums. They've done all kinds of terrible things for a very long time. That's why if you play some of the records backwards, it says things. That wasn't a mistake. That was all done on purpose. Whether they did it as a joke or they meant to do it, it's regardless of the fact it's there. So we know it can be done. So you can't say it doesn't. We know that they're not hiding who they believe in and who they worship. Look at them. They wear red. They wear horns on their head. They do the symbolism. They stick their tongues out. They want fornication. They're teaching kids to, bump their booties and stuff like that, thinking it's funny. Kids don't need to be sexualized. They don't need all that dance and stuff. They don't need to see naked men. There's a video. I forgot where it's at. And the man is walking with his children, and there's naked people walking past them. Naked people. Children don't need to see this. They don't need to be asking questions to their parents. They don't need to see this. So when I tell you that the devil's here, we're already living in sin, you can't say that you're not. Because it's everywhere. The devil is everywhere. You know how they say the devil's in the detail? He's everywhere. And if you're not coming home every day before you go to sleep and asking God to forgive you your sins, you're carrying stuff on you. And it doesn't matter how many times you go to church. Doesn't matter how much you tell everybody you're a Christian and you just don't believe in that stuff. But yet you sing to I'm not even going to call out people's names, their song, and they're talking about casting a spell on you, or I'm going to make you love me, or whatever the heck they're singing about. I'm going to burn some incense and say a couple of words and you're going to fall in love. Whatever they're saying, they're casting spells and you're singing to it. You're doing magic. And while we're there, do you light candles on your birthday cake and blow them out? Do you do it for your children? You're teaching them fire magic. So don't tell me that you don't do anything wrong, because I can sit here for hours and hours and hours and tell you things that you're doing in your everyday life that it goes back to magic. And yes, religion is wrapped up in that stuff because they wanted the people that did that stuff to come over to the Christian religion. That's why your Christian religions were on top of pagan holidays. That's why, like, Christmas is on this day because that was a pagan holiday. That's why you celebrate this day because it was a pagan holiday. They did that so the pagans would still celebrate on those days. Did you know that they built a lot of these churches on pagan sites? So don't sit there and say, I'm religious, I go to church every day, when you don't even understand what they did to get people that did this stuff to come over and be Christian and go into these churches and celebrate the new name of this holiday. But I'm not going to go down that road. That's something that, if you follow me on Telegram, I'll do it there, because I've already posted plenty of documentation and videos and all kinds of stuff on it. You need to go there. I'm not telling people not to go to church. I'm not telling people not to be religious, because in the end, you're going to do what you want to do, and that's your truth. And that's fine, because God gave you free will. That's the biggest gift that God ever gave you besides your brain. But I need people to really put their thinking caps on and take me serious when I tell you, if you are just sitting back and thinking, well, I can ride this out, this is going to be fine, we're going to be okay. Yes, you're going to be okay, but people around you may not be okay. And if they're not okay, they get dangerous, because if they get hungry, they'll come in your home and get your food. They're not going to care if you're home or not. So I need people to realize how bad it could get. I'm not saying that it's definitely going to be this awful. I just know it's supposed to look like the end of the world. And if you look at certain places right now, it does look like the end of the world for them. but everybody has to experience something to make them reach out to God. So, like I said, I just need everybody to understand about banks. Nobody pays anybody in cash anymore. So, if you don't have your bank open and you can't get to your money, these companies are not going to be able to pay their employees because they pay them through a bank. They direct deposit their checks, or they print them a check, or they put it on one of those little credit card things. But nobody goes in a back room and says, okay, here's your money for your week. I've already took out your taxes and everything. Nobody does that. They haven't done it for a very long time. So if they can't give them a check so they can deposit it in their bank to cover what they've worked, who's going to show up for work? Who's going to show up? So don't think that, I'm not going to be able to go to the store and go buy anything, if I don't have cash, but I'll be okay. Think of all the people that have cash that can't even go in the store because the store's not open because nobody showed up for work because they can't pay them. I don't know if people really thought about that, and I need everybody to realize that. So that's very important. That's why it's extremely important to make sure that you're ready for this. Mentally, spiritually, financially, make sure you're ready. Make sure you've got at least 3 weeks worth of food. Don't forget your animals. Please consider buying a little bit extra because you might have a neighbor that's nowhere ready. You might have an elderly person on your street. You might have someone that lives 4 houses down that has children that you've never talked to, and you might find out that these people can't even feed their children. So you might be cooking a meal and then bringing it over there to feed those children. I don't know. So just be prepared for anything. You're not going to panic, but you're going to be prepared. So now that I've talked about that, I feel much better getting that off my chest because that was something that I wanted to make sure that people fully understood. And I don't want to hear, I already knew that, because there's plenty of people that it didn't even dawn on them that businesses may not be able to run if they can't pay their employees, because I'm not working for free. I'm sure you're not working for free. And even if I had nothing else to do, I'm not going to just show up and then put my life in jeopardy, because it's going to be dangerous. It really is. I mean, look at what's going on in some of these cities right now. These kids doing these mob things, going in these stores and stealing 10,000 plus in merchandise for shits and giggles. So imagine, everyday honest people having to go in there to get baby formula or diapers or, just bread and milk, to feed their kids. I mean, it's not something that I think any of us are really prepared for, that any of us have really sat down and thought about how we're going to handle it, how it's going to be. And I don't want people to think that as soon as things shut down, in a couple of days, the military is going to come knock on your door and give you a box of food, because it's not going to happen like that either. You may have to sit this one out for a few weeks. I don't know. I really don't know. But I don't like scaring people, so that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to give you the worst case scenario so you're prepared for it. And when it's not that bad, you can go, whew, thank God it didn't happen that way. Because we don't know. Everything that these podcasters have been telling us is not happening the way that they said. And I don't know if it's because they don't have the intel that they've been trying to tell everybody that they got, or they're just making up stuff, or they're guessing, or they're misunderstanding. I don't know. I don't have an answer for you. I just know some of them make too much money off of us. And I haven't donated to any podcasters, and I'm not, and I never will. There's no reason to. I get my information from up there. I'm not claiming to be anybody special. I never have. I never will. What I think I'm going to be better at is what happens afterwards, because that's where my visions were really, really in detail. Everything before, it was kind of quick, flashy, just glimpses of things. But when it's afterwards is where it gets better for me. So that tells me that my moving more into things is supposed to be afterwards. This is why I just stay in the background. This is why I don't try to become popular or want to be interviewed or anything like that, because I don't. My thing is it's going to be afterwards. I feel that really strongly in my bones. So I do know that it is going to be beautiful, but I see it in phases. So we're in phase 1. After the emergency broadcast, that automatically starts phase 2. Then phase 2 should last about 2 years. We'll move into the phase 3. Then the phase 4 will be the last and final phase. And that's when everybody has gotten adjusted. And I think it's going to take a total about 6 years. The phase 2 is educating and understanding and starting over. The phase 3 is more people reaching out and doing more and starting their own businesses, rebuilding, trying to move on because they've already seen everything. Pretty much. They've already seen everything that was on the TV set. They've already come to terms with nothing that they ever thought was real. That's why I said the final phase, phase 4, is the new normal. It takes about 6 years, could be 7, but I'm hearing more 6 in my head. So it's going to take about a total of 6 years. When we get to this 6-year mark, it's going to be awesome. I just see so many neighborhood gardens. I see people not going to the movies. I don't see people talking on their cell phones while they're sitting down having dinner with their family. It's going to be completely different. Much, much better. And people like me who are light workers, we will be in demand after the emergency broadcast. We really will. There's a lot that some of us have to do. Some of us will be moving into the positions that we need to be in. And I'm not talking about military. I'm talking about where God wants us. So don't think I'm just talking about military. Now, will the military know who some of us are? And I actually believe that. I believe they already know who a lot of us are. I believe that they have the intel through other means of knowing who is a light worker, what our gifts are, and what we are capable of doing. I think they already know that. I think that in time, some light workers will get knocks on the door and it will be military. But in general, we're going to know exactly what we need to do, where we're going to go, and exactly what we're supposed to be doing with our gifts after the emergency broadcast. So light workers, if you're a light worker, I think you can resonate with this. You understand what I'm talking about. You probably have already felt the pull. I've been sick to my stomach because the energy is just really all over the place, and the just ready for them to rip the Band-Aid off and let's get it going. Being an empath, I'm able to feel other people's feelings. So when I see all this stuff that's going on, it affects me really bad. Seeing the children and the animals charred made me almost throw up. It was the pain was that bad. So this feels like it's just destroying me. It's really hard. So if you know someone that's an empath, they're probably having a really, really hard time because it's painful. It just makes you sick. It really does. Grounding yourself is extremely important. So even if you don't believe in that, try it. Who watched the movie, what was it called? Bruce Willis. I can't even think of it. You know, where he was in the towers and went to go see his wife. Well, anyway, you know what I'm talking about. And if you can think of the movie, put it in the comments. And we'll all laugh about it later, how it's just right here and I can't get it out. Remember, he was in the bathroom and he was talking about how long his flight was. And the guy told him to take off his shoes and just stand there barefoot. He was telling him to ground. But you don't ground in carpet. You actually ground on the ground. But that's what grounding does. It makes you feel that much better. That's what I was trying to get to. So go outside for about 10 minutes every day. Take off your shoes, stand in the grass, ground, absorb the earth energy through your feet. And you're probably thinking, well, that sounds really crazy. Well, you ever looked up those detox foot pads? You put them on your feet because the way that your circulation runs, it runs all through your body and circulates through your feet. So your feet are like a doorway to absorb stuff. You don't have to believe me, I'm not asking you to. But I don't believe in coincidences. So if you don't understand what I'm talking about, just look up those detox foot pads, the bamboo foot pads, and read it and look at the pictures, and it'll explain to you how the blood circulates and how it pulls the toxins from the bottom of your feet out into the pad. It works. I've recommended many people to get those pads when they're swollen, they have a lot of fluid built up, especially their ankles or their knees hurting really bad. I tell them to do those detox foot pads for about 5 days, and everybody that I've told to do it, the pain is gone. It eliminates their pain. So there is something very beneficial to it. If you've never done it before, I highly recommend, if you're having swelling in your feet, in your legs, that this is something that you definitely want to do. I do have lots of knowledge because I am remembering more things from my past life, because I do believe that I did herbs and the healing stuff in another lifetime. So I'm just like, I just know things. I don't know how I know them. They just come to me. So with that being said, you can email me, or you can reach out to me here on this YouTube platform, or if you want to find me through my Telegram channel or my Facebook page, and you would like a card reading done. I will do card readings from, let's just see what the date is here. My tablet was locked, so we're going to open it back up. I'm going to go here and here to the calendar, show you that I'm opening up the calendar. Ooh. Okay, so today is the 14th, so I'll say from August 14th to August 21st, if you reach out to me and you would like a card reading done, I will do card readings for $30. $30, not $200, not $300. But you have to reach out to me so we can set aside a time, because I don't rush through my card readings. If it takes 2 hours, it takes 2 hours, and you don't get charged more. If it takes 5 hours, it takes 5 hours. So if you would like a card reading from today, August 14th, up to August 21st, that puts us the day before whatever they're going to do, Russia and Africa, Brazil, all of them, India, that puts us a day before that, I will do a card reading. $30. I do have where you can do the Cash App, I have the Venmo, and I have the Square app. Now, you know, if the Square app is actually a credit card thing, but if you choose to do that and you do give me your card number, I will text you your receipt so you can see that I did take out the amount, and you will know if I was to try to take any more out. That's a 100% trust thing on there, and I don't expect anybody to trust me with that, so I just put it out there in case. I have a couple of people that have done that with me, and now when they do things, they just say, you know, Jackie, I'm just going to do my card, because they don't even worry about it anymore. But I'm not saying that that's the only option you have. I'm just saying if there's no other option for you, then, you know, we can do that. But I'm not telling you that that's the way we want to do it, because that's not what I'm saying. So I have Cash App, I have Venmo, and I have the Square app. The Square app, the receipt's going to come back of my store. It's going to say Jackie's Crystals and More. Now, if you go to Facebook and you want to find that in there. It's Jackie's Crystals and More. It's a picture of an orange fox and an orange cat. That's me. That shows you all the crystals that I have, all the bracelets and stuff like that. So if you want to reach out to me there, you're more than welcome to reach out to me there as well. But I'm just letting you know why I have a Square app, because I do try to run a little small business out of my home. I do farmers markets, and I'm going to start picking up some events here next month, and I'm really excited about it. So, you want a card reading just to find out a general reading of what's going on, or if you just have questions that you need me to kind of see if I can look and see what's going on, $30. You're not going to find someone else to do a card reading for you for $30. You can try. You can try. You can even go on my Telegram page and ask people and they'll tell you. I've done readings for several people on my channel. You can go to my Facebook page and ask. I am very, very careful. I try really hard to tap in there to see. And I'm as honest as I can be. And I don't rush it. I don't get mad, and I don't get frustrated with questions. So if you want a card reading, please reach out to me. $30. We're just going to do it from this Monday the 14th to the Monday 21st. Just because I don't know what's going to happen on the 22nd. That's the reason why I'm not going to extend it after. So don't hesitate to reach out. If you do want to see what I have to sell and you would like to buy something from me, then you go to my store. But that's different and separate than when I get on here and I talk about stuff a lot of times. So just know that's two separate things. So I just want to make sure that everybody is prepared, that everybody has a really good understanding about what's going to happen. I want to show y'all something else, and I'm going to show you through my Telegram. Let me open it up really quick. There's a video that I would like each and every one of you to go look at. It's going to explain maritime law. Now, I hope you all know that I did study law, and I did study the Constitution, and I feel very confident when I talk about things that I know what I'm talking about. Otherwise, I would not talk about them. And common law is not being used right now. It's just not. All right, I had this open. All right, so this is just showing you. So if that came through okay, you need to roll it back, snap it, and then find it. That's the video that you want to watch to learn about maritime law. You need to do this, because when they do the emergency broadcast, we're not going to be under this form of law anymore. This is the law of the water. And when you listen to this, it's going to make complete sense with the wording that they use, the procedures that they go through. You have to understand this. Then go and start studying your Constitution. Read it good, understand it. Understand that God's laws are always first. No matter what law somebody tries to make, God's laws are always first. God gave you free will, number one. This means that you can make stupid decisions and learn from them, because that's what God wants you to do. God is not the mean, hateful God that sometimes they try to tell you in church. He does not want you to be afraid of him. He wants you to love him because he loves you. But you need to understand you have free will. And if you listen to what they're talking about, they keep trying to take away your rights. Your rights are your free will. Do you understand? You have the right to breathe. You have the right to eat. You have the right to go outside and dance in the rain, because you have free will. When they tell you you can't dance in the rain unless you're wearing purple rain boots. Well, they just took one of your rights away. And I don't think people understand what they're doing. I don't think people deeply understand enough of what they're doing. They're crushing your will. They don't want you to shine like God intended you to shine. They want you to be dim, dark, miserable, be in the lower vibration, and do everything they say and pretend you're happy. Because I'm not even going to say you're going to be happy, because you're not. I'm not happy now. So why would I be happy if I didn't own anything? That sure shit ain't going to make me happy. But they're crushing your free will. So watch that video. I highly recommend it. It is an excellent video. You have to click yes, you confirm that you want to watch it. That's how good it is. You have to confirm that you want to watch it. So watch this video. It's hard to find if you just try to type it in without knowing exactly what you're doing. Go back, roll it. Let me know if it didn't come out. Let me try it one more time because I want to make sure that you can see it good enough. That's the video you want to look at. You've got to understand maritime law, because we're getting out of maritime law and we're going to common law. And you're going to say, oh, now you've really lost me, Jackie. When we go back under common law, that's going to be closer to what we should have been under already. And they're already putting recipes on here. If you have not made HCQ before, I do have a video on there where I talk about it. This stuff is really, really good. I'm just going to put a recipe up here. It's not mine, it's someone else's. Okay, hopefully you were able to see that. But what I was trying to do was to get to my page because I wanted you to see. This is the one that's on my Telegram page, my A Like-Minded People, and my Crystals and Jackie's Crystals and More page. So if you see that, you know you found me. That's me. All right. Please reach out to me if you have any questions. Please reach out to me if you are suffering from something and you want to know what herbs you can take. Doesn't mean that you're trying to buy from me. You just want me to do the research for you. Please reach out to me. Let me help you. Why is it so dark in here? I don't know. Reach out to me. Let me help you. Okay? There's lots of things that I can probably help you with. And I'm not talking about just card readings, and I'm not talking about making an herbal mix. If you can tell me what's going on, I can probably hear it and then tell you what you may need to do. And that is free. That's free. So don't hesitate to ask. But if you need me to make up an herbal mix, of course I have to charge you for it, because I've got to put it in the mail. I've got to mail it to you. I have to put it in a bag, which costs money. Then I have to rebuy, depending on what I make or how much I make. So yes, I do have to charge. I would be stupid. What if I need it? And I didn't have any because I was just giving it away to everybody, So I don't overcharge people for anything, like my jewelry. I make this stuff myself. I don't overcharge for my jewelry at all. So everything that I do is never overpriced, never overcharging anybody. And I guarantee anything that you get from me, it's going to work. It really is. But I have found a couple of different healing frequencies on YouTube that work wonders. So these are just different things that I'm saying that I can do that doesn't cost a dime. And this is what I do all day long, is I research, I help people. I've got plants out there. Right now, I planted some strawberries, and I did that. I wanted to see if it would work. I don't know if it'll work or not, but I took strawberries, some that I didn't eat, and I planted them. Well, I was out there watering them. I probably should show you, but I don't know if I have enough time. Yeah, I do have enough time. Let's walk out there. Let me show you, because you're going to crack up. So I went out there to water my strawberries, and I thought, what is that black thing in my strawberries? And then I looked, and it was a frog. Oh, yeah, he's still in there. And I don't know if you're going to be able to see him, so I'm going to pick up if he don't jump out. It's just me. I just want to go over here a second. Don't get mad. Don't get out. I'm going to put you back. Say hi. So I'm going to name him Fred the Frog. And he's mad at me because I'm moving him around. And Fred the Frog is in my strawberry pot. I was like, a frog done buried himself in my strawberry pot. Is that not hilarious? I had to show everybody. Anyway, I don't get mad. I'm not trying to get him out. And if the strawberries don't grow because Fred was in there, it wasn't meant to be. So I'm not going to get upset with it. I've got like 10 blueberries I've got several cucumbers out there. So ask me anything. I'm not claiming to be an expert at everything. I'm not claiming to be an expert at anything. But I do know a lot, and if I don't know it, I know how to research it. So don't ever hesitate to ask me anything, because I may be able to get the answer, or maybe already have the answer for you. Take care of yourself. I will try to make another video possibly tonight or tomorrow. Just because there's so much going on, and I want to make sure everybody is calm, cool, and collective and ready to roll. Now, if it does not happen this month, and there's always that possibility, I want to explain this because most podcasters don't do this, and they really make me angry. They just want you to tune into their channel and give them some money, and they're really making me angry. So, do know that there's a possibility that other countries roll out and we don't roll out yet. And in the beginning, we were supposed to roll out first, and then the other countries are supposed to follow. But now we roll out last. That was my understanding from a few years ago, that we roll out last. So I don't know what's going to be said on the 22nd, 23rd, or 24th. I don't know. I'm not getting any downloads from God on that one. So I don't know. It'll be a surprise for me as well. So just be prepared. If nothing happens, no noises on your telephone, nothing, your power's running the whole day long, all week long, nothing happens, you don't see any military tanks going down the road, don't get mad. Just know that things are happening. You can see it happening real time if you know where to look, know what channels to go to, and pay attention to things. You can see it. It is happening. So just because they haven't announced it and we haven't had that big sound yet, doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. Because I'm telling you, through my visions, we're not going to get to where I saw until we shut down. So I want you to hang in there and not give up. Don't get mad. Don't get mad at God. Don't get mad at Trump. Don't get mad at anybody. You just hang in there. It will happen. They just can't tell us. They're not supposed to. So we'll all laugh about this later on if we don't cry first, which I think some of us will be crying before we do get to laughing. And that's okay. Cry. Please cry. I cry all the time. It's hard. You have to get those emotions out. So take care of yourself. I'll try, like I said, tonight to make another one. If not, I'll make one tomorrow because I want to keep updating everybody. Reach out to me if you want a card reading. I will only charge you $30. I don't care if it takes 5 hours, $30. I want to help as many people as I can be ready and feel more confident going into this next phase. If it is this month, it could stretch into November. I don't know. I don't know. And I don't want to say it is, and I don't want to say it's not. So just know that we're just at any moment. And please remember that. Don't let these other podcasters that are always putting dates out there make you think that that's the day, and you just sit there waiting for it to happen, and it doesn't happen, because that's just bringing your vibrations down to a lower level that you don't need to be at. You stay at the higher frequencies. All right, take care. Reach out to me. It's Jackie39532 _ 2004 at yahoo.com, or Jackie's Crystals and More on Facebook, or A Like Minded People on Telegram. Email again, Jackie39532 _ 2004 yahoo.com. All right, reach out to me. Let me help you if you need it. All right, take care, and I will talk to you later. Bye, guys.